Hi everyone, hope everyone's doing well. So, I've missed 2 weeks of uploads, and today's Wednesday, and I'm supposed to upload every Monday. And when this Monday came around, it wasn't even like a thing of like guilt, it was more like I'm so like disappointed in myself because I promised myself that I would be way more consistent this year. And now, when I was sitting down to do my Q3 planning, I was like, oh my goodness, like the one thing that is just slacking is definitely my YouTube channel. But I've kind of had to adjust a few things. Like my health isn't where it needs to be, and I won't lie, that affects literally everything else. But I'm really working hard to make sure that that gets under control. So today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about unemployment. And I don't know how everything I'm gonna say is gonna come out, but my goal, and that's where I'm gonna start because I feel like if you understand the goal, maybe you'll understand what I'm trying to talk to you about. And that's the fact that I've been there where it seems hopeless, it seems pointless, it seems stupid to even show up. Because it's like, what are you showing up for, and all these other things, especially now post COVID, because it's kind of like things are back to normal, but they're not really normal, and everyone is kind of like trying to figure things out. But one thing I can definitely tell you is that unemployment taught me to be resourceful. It taught me to get the info. But a step further than that, and that's why I'm able to maintain consistent 10K months now, is the fact that I know, or I have the info, and I'm taking it a step further. And more than that, you have to get the info from the right people and understand that somebody else's info, you're not entitled to that. Like, you need to pay for it. And unfortunately, that's the one thing that I feel like most South Africans are just not okay with, and that's to pay to gain knowledge, especially like millennials, young people. I feel like maybe Gen Z might get it, but like not 32 and older. Like, it's kind of like, what are you talking about? They'd rather be just uncomfortable but zero money lost, which is actually so much time lost, you know. Even like the whole concept of hiring help, I know so many people who are drowning in their to-do lists, or they are managing in their professional lives but their personal lives are drowning, and they're okay with it because that's just how life is and this is how things are. And unfortunately, you actually taking the blame and not putting it on yourself, and you blaming your circumstances. And that's the one thing that 7 Habits of Highly Successful People says you shouldn't do, because then you're not being proactive, you're being a result of whatever it is that is happening to you. And don't get me wrong, I also have a couple of days where I'm also super, super reactive because things just get so overwhelming and out of control and all of that. I get it. But at the end of the day, you have to be proactive. You have to put things in place, and you have to be the one who kills the challenge, or kills whatever kind of plan you have. So what did I learn about unemployment? Being unemployed is not the end. It's not the thing that's gonna break you. What will break you is when in your mind you feel like employment is the only way that you can be yourself, because that robs you from the present. It robs you what you can learn while you're at home, or learn, like, like get into new things while you're at home. So initially when I got well, I didn't get laid off or anything. My employment wasn't ideal for me because they basically wanted me to work for free, which was not okay because I was already not okay with the salary that I was getting. And so initially I was like, no, what, like, it's in the middle of the pandemic, everyone's at home anyway, blah blah blah. Then I got bored really, really quickly. And out of that was the birth of my book club, Blossom and Zeal. And I started it with a partner, Callie. And then our very first book was the 5 a.m. 5 a.m. club. And that book taught me that everything is within my control. And if I can start a book club, can you imagine what I can do? Because before starting that book club, I think we both kind of didn't know if we could pull it off. I don't know about her, but that's how I felt. And then as we went along, I was like, oh, we can do this, you know. And that's how all of that went down. But I think the very first thing that you need to realize about unemployment is that it's not the end. There's lots of things that you can do in the meantime while you're waiting to get employed. Then I would say the second thing that I've learned is to definitely be present. What can you learn right now? What I've learned is social media marketing or social media management. That came so naturally to me because I've always wondered, how are people making money on Instagram? How does this work? And then I realized afterwards that it's not just influencers. There's many avenues that you can explore on social media marketing, and there's many business opportunities that you can also explore. So that was my first kind of like service offering. And bear in mind, there's no university right now in South Africa that I know of that's teaching people how to be social media managers, which is a huge gap. Can you imagine if I become an accredited learning institution and what I teach is social media management? Everyone would flock to me because it's something that I offer that nobody else offers, that is a genuine way of employment or a genuine way of making money. If you don't believe me, go to Upwork. People in Australia, the UK, the US, their entire agency is based on social media management. Like, go to Upwork and search. I'm telling you, I recently joined Upwork. I can't believe the jobs that are on there. And that's the other thing. Like, learn a skill. Like, go offer your services on Upwork, Fiverr, freelancer.com, Legit, Revolancer. There's so many places where you can do these tasks or gigs or whatnot that are gonna give you the money that you need. And then number 3 is definitely be a self-starter and be self-managed. I can't stress to you enough that not being on top of my time, how I spend my time, how I allocate my time, how I price my time. If I'm not on top of those things, then nothing makes sense, right? Because not only do I have my several jobs, I also have this channel, I also have a book club, I also have my own private life, I also have, all these things that I'm doing. For example, I'm actually reading 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. I removed the cover because it was just gonna get dirty. Right now, and this is not part of my book club yet because it's such an expensive book. I'm reading it for me because I want to live my life at 10x. I want to operate at a 10x level. I have to invest this time into myself, right? And I had to put myself together to actually be able to film this video, which is one of the reasons why I haven't filmed, because I had a wash day and then my hair sat in buns forever while I was trying to run after deadlines and make sure that my clients' work got out. So if I'm not on top of my own time, how can you offer your own time to somebody else on like a freelance basis, never mind an employment basis, in order for you to actually do more or be more than the status quo or what people or society wants you to be? For example, right now I'm a 30-year-old female, millennial, living at home. And when people look at me, they see a person who's like living at home, there's nothing going on, and all of these other things. Meanwhile, since May, I've been able to make consistent 10K months. And by the end of the year, I want to be able to make consistent 20 or 25K months. And that's my goal for now. And I have to make sure that I make that happen, So really, unemployment, like now if someone tells me like, hey, what do you do? Sometimes I do tell them that I'm unemployed, because some people don't understand what social media managers do, or they don't understand what book club owners do, or they don't even understand like how I make my money. But I feel like, well, it depends in what mood I'm in that day. Because if it's someone who genuinely wants to know and is interested in going that way, then I would explain to them how they can get started. I also do have a um, Fiverr, how to get started on Fiverr coaching session available. If you are interested, I'll put that down in the link below. But I feel like if I'm traditionally, or if I'm talking to someone from here, because I am from a rural area, I can't change that right now. um, I do tell them that I'm unemployed. It's up to them to kind of like gauge if if I might be telling the truth or not. But it is the truth. But I don't let that define me. I don't let that be like, oh, I'm gonna chill in the corner and cry because nobody sees my CV and nobody wants to hire me. And I literally said this to someone, like she asked me like, how did I get into freelancing? And I said to her, well, nobody wanted to hire me. And I regret saying that because then I made myself the victim. And I'm not a victim. I took control of my situation. I took charge of my own time and my own knowledge and basically my resourcefulness, and I made something up, and I took initiative and I made something come out of that. And I think sometimes when I think like where I was 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, I could have never predicted that this is where I was gonna be today. And let me tell you, like, things are not easy. For example, I tried to get started on Upwork a while ago, and they rejected my profile. Sorry, I don't even say that to myself. So they rejected my profile, and then and I couldn't get it. I was just like, I filled in everything you wanted me to fill in. Why is this not working? And then I left it for a while and I just forgot about it. And then I watched more Upwork videos on YouTube, blah 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 blah. But as you know, like, YouTube is free content. So sometimes when you're looking for answers, you're not gonna find them in a YouTube video. One day, there's this girl who popped up and she had a video about how she made $900, which you can do the math. That's like, if $1,000 is like 15,000 rand, so she got between 12 and 15K. I don't know. For a single project to do a pitch deck, basically, which is now so funny to me because I did a pitch deck last week. I didn't charge nearly this much. Anyway, so what did she say? Oh yeah, so she was going through the whole thing of how she got the job, blah 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 blah. And look, there's millions of people on Upwork. Someone else could have got chosen, but that she got chosen for that particular thing, and they paid her $900. It was like unbelievable to me. Turns out the following week or 2 weeks later just shows you like God can open up these things for you. It's really about whether or not you see it or not, and take initiative, right? So then she said that she's offering like a boot camp and a paid boot camp, and it was $35. I was like, I've paid more for other things. So if this is what she's charging and she really can show me the behind the scenes of Upwork, it's not a problem. I didn't have the money, but I made it happen. So I got some money on my PayPal, which was not easy, by the way. Like, F&B has got to make this easier. I got some money on my PayPal, paid it on time, sent her the proof of payment, blah blah blah. Showed up for both days of the boot camp, so it was 2 consecutive days, and I kind of understand now why she did that. It was a lot of info. So after that boot camp, I think it took me another week to kind of set up my profile, the way what I learned from there. And then that's not even like where you end, because on Fiverr, at least when you set up your gigs, now you wait. But on Upwork, you constantly need to be looking for new jobs and applying for them. And I think that's why most people give up on Upwork, because once you cross that stage, that's where the money is at. So I literally look for jobs. The first time I did it so wrong, and then I had to start over. And then as I'm going along, I'm trying to, filter things that are just not for me, and also trying to see what do I need to work on in the background to start applying for some of these jobs that are really lucrative, but I just don't have the portfolio for them. And so, that's basically how it has gone. So the bootcamp was on the 25th of May, I believe. I can't remember. 25th of May or 25th of June? Can't remember. I'm gonna say May. Or the 12th of June. Okay, I can't remember, but it's been a while. Let's say a month, 2 weeks to a month. And so far, I've made $0 from Upwork, but it takes way more effort. And really, like, I gave myself 6 months. I can even do 9 months, but I gave myself 6 months to give my all to Upwork. And to be honest, I don't even feel like I've gotten to the all part. I'm still tasting out the water, seeing what's going on, etc. But I'm still learning, like, what works, what doesn't work, how do I get people to talk to me in my inbox, and all these other things. So I'm saying all of this to say that, can you imagine going through that if you have the unemployment mindset and if you have the unemployment vibe, Because a person can see whether you kind of are enthusiastic or depressed, and when you send a proposal, you have to be like, I'm the best person to do this, I'm your girl, but in a professional way. You pay attention to detail, you mention things that they've mentioned, and you're doing the most basically, but not over the top, just to make sure that you get the job. And once you get the job, you do your 100%, because the review from that first job is gonna push you more to get other people to also look at your profile. So all of this to say that you have to take initiative, you have to be resourceful, you have to not have an I'm broke and unemployed mindset. You have to learn. You have to take control of your time, and later on take control of your pricing. So to wrap up, you are not unemployed. Yes, you might be unemployed by definition, but you can still maintain a salary, or you can still maintain an income while you're sitting at home and waiting for employment. It doesn't need to be what we are taught it is. That's it. All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I really didn't want it to be as long as it is turning out to be. But I really hope you guys enjoyed. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.